Welcome back, frenemies, to episode 73, our week one preview podcast. I'm your host, Chris, and to my right is the very much underpaid commish, Sean. And to my far left is the man of the people, Ryan. And the guy next to me is our lookalike guest that flew in all the way from Indiana just to join us, my twin brother, Mike. Guys, NFL week one is upon us, man.
I did not know you guys were twins.
Oh, you didn't? Couldn't see the
I definitely saw the resemblance, but I didn't know you guys popped out. It's around the same time.
Yes, yeah.
That's incredible.
Same birthday.
I got
what was that
dinner
like?
Table first. That's about it.
Wow.
Okay. All right, so let's go straight into some fantasy reaction, guys. We had some movement happen in the league after since our last podcast. Adrian Peterson switching colors again. He's in Detroit. Mike, what do you think? There's some meaningful work for him in the backfield there in Detroit?
No, I think he's just an extra body. Maybe they'll think they'll get lucky if they get some injuries. You might get one or two good games out of him, but I don't think it's anything significant.
Sean, this is your boy, Kerryon Johnson.
Yeah,
what's the impact?
That was going to be my comment. I think it impacts Kerryon more than it does anything for Adrian Peterson. And it's not that I don't think Kerryon's going to not be the starter week one, but I think we've seen this with Matt Patricia before where he likes that old running back that's plodding, and it's just a New England thing in him. So I could see a few carries losing for Kerryon Johnson that's already in trouble with Swift in the backfield.
It's a pretty busy backfield there. All right, Deshaun Watson getting paid. Ryan, what do you think about this? A 4-year, $156 million extension. You love when players get paid.
I love when players get paid because I love when I get paid. I know the feeling.
Yeah.
He knows the feeling of making that much money?
No, I don't.
You know what? A former teammate of his, D-Hop,
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins also got an extension there, being one of the highest paid non-QB contracts in the league.
Yeah.
Mike, was there any hope that D-Hop and Deshaun could have coexisted in Houston?
I don't know what they're thinking in Houston when they got rid of him. I think both contract extensions are to keep both men happy. Keep him in Arizona, keep him happy. He's going to probably have to ride the Kyler train a little bit. And then Watson was probably already had his left foot out of Houston, and they had to throw the money his way, say, be patient, we'll get you somebody, even though they really don't look like they want to give him anyone.
Yeah.
It was $100 million guaranteed, if I'm right. So that's a lot of money to say. I'll do it all on my own again.
It's just funny to compare it to Mahomes' and just be like,
Doesn't even matter. All right, and then Jadeveon Clowney, not too big of a fantasy hit, but just the drama of that guy all offseason, like saying no to everyone. Then he fires his what do you call those guys? His agent?
Yes, sports agent.
Sports agent for not getting him a deal, and he settles for a 1-year, $15 million deal in Tennessee.
Let me ask you, if you guys went into the NFL,
okay,
extremely handsome, rugged, athletic, do you feel like maybe the more success you have, the more sass you have? Is there some kind of equation?
I think,
just ego
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah.
Ego's there already, and money just brings it out more. Because look at some other guys that are nice guys, even with their money. He's ready to go. And the hard part with him, defensive ends, money goes up when sacks go up. He's a disruptor. He's a phenomenal defensive player.
That's the thing Sue dealt with.
Yep, sack numbers aren't there. That's what the team will argue back to his agent, saying we're not going to give him that big money because he only has 35 sacks since he's been in the league.
But the numbers do show that he's doing the work, and the other guys are getting the sacks.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
So
he's top up there with pressure.
Yeah.
Yep. So those were some of our fantasy reactions, and as we're just 2 days away from NFL starting on Thursday Night Football. Now, for everyone, we want to get into our party question of the week.
Ian, would you like to party in my pants?
No, Bruce.
All right.
We're inappropriate.
Yeah, we try to be. All right, our party question of the week is what, and this is because of my brother being in town, what was your biggest sibling feud growing up? I mean, we weren't all perfect angels. All right?
I was.
Whatever.
I was going to say, I think the oldest just always knows that they are.
Look at you. What? 3 of
You
guys
are outnumbered.
I'm 1 minute younger than this guy here, and I'm the youngest here in the room. Or
They
middle
literally
boy,
just
little
grabbed me first. So they were like, which of these two are attractive? He is. And then grabbed me. And that was
born
it.
twins. How do you know which one's more attractive? Oh, never mind.
They did. They knew.
All right, Sean, I'm gonna throw this to you, Commish. What your feud is something that every sibling has.
Every family growing up, if you have another sibling, which by the way, if you don't, then I just feel like you didn't actually have a childhood. But No, just kidding. Not to only childs, but
Hey, we just lost Tim Cook.
Dang.
Bunch of spoiled brats.
shotgun.
Yeah.
Calling
Oh,
shotgun.
man.
What was the rule? What was the rule in your household?
Well, so my parents decided, here we go. This can be my word of the
Ooh,
week
we get
here.
another word of the week.
They
here.
decided to mitigate it
Ooh.
by
Every week.
by setting up. It worked well when me and my brother were the only two because I was born on an odd day. He was born on an even day. So every even day, Mark got it. Every odd day, I got it. Then I had two little sisters, and then that all got thrown out, and we tried to do this rolling system. But yeah, it was just always a huge feud. I don't know why it was so important to sit in that front seat, and like laws soon came out afterward that I shouldn't have been sitting in the front seat, but
2-year-old Sean sitting shotgun, you know.
My thing with shotgun was always like, you can have it. If you want to take the airbag to the face, go for it.
No one thinks
I
like
never
that at 8 years
argued
old.
with it. I was like, you guys, if
You were
you,
very educated.
if you want to.
on car accidents. If you thought about airbags.
Well, the old school thing was like you got
Wow.
to see it first to call it, right?
Yeah.
No, you didn't
well,
do that.
yeah, you had to see the car. Yeah.
You had to see the car.
Yep.
Okay. All right, Ryan. I hope Ben's out there listening to us, a friend of the podcast. Tell us what you did for your sibling rival, your feud.
Yeah, so I wasn't an angel.
He's the oldest of 5, by the way.
Oldest of 5. When you're the oldest of 5, you got to lay down the law.
I love how you just threw down the knife hand.
Like, people have to know who's in charge. You're going
Unlike
to get run
Campbell
over.
Mayfield.
Also, I was always the one babysitting, too. So it was just like, if they didn't know who was in charge, there was chaos.
Yeah.
I believe that dictators have good hearts
Whoa.
when bad, and they go about it very wrong.
Oh, snap.
But listen, as the oldest sibling, you got to lay down the law. So anyways, I guess one of the biggest things is when my brother woke me up by just hitting me in the head with a pillow. I was dead asleep. And I just picked him up calmly, and I walked him over to the toilet, and I gave him a swirly.
Just calmly walked him
Yeah.
over.
Done a couple times.
He was, yeah.
So his-
it was one of these perfect toilets. It was on vacation.
This little boy that he's talking about is now married to my sister, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I've heard plenty of like scars that have been
Yeah.
cut deep.
Emotional.
And, yeah, he's pretty messed up from it. So
I'm sorry, Ben. I love you, buddy. Anyways, Mike, going to you here. I think
For
we
real?
both talk about this one. But what is
Talk later.
what is one of our biggest feuds as kids? We also have another brother, Tim. We shipped him out early. He
Yeah,
didn't make it
you
to the
know,
podcast.
It's interesting. Twin brother, little brother is less than 2 years old, so it wasn't like the 5 siblings. You're definitely in charge. So our biggest feud came with like chores. Like our parents would, when we got old enough, they would
This is
like
a
leave
great
us at the
one.
house, and they were like, "I would make sure X, Y, and Z is done." They never assigned X, Y, or Z to any of the 3 boys.
I think my dad did it on purpose.
So I don't know if it was like a team building exercise, but it was like, all right, which of the chores suck the most? And then we'd be like, Tim, you do that. And then Chris and I would try to get like the easiest one or the one that's like took the less. And then we would just argue
We
or
just
fight.
argue all day long.
And, like it really sucked for Tim when it came to like car washing because he always had the wheels. And he had the lower half of the car. Chris and I were just talking about like who had the hose and who did like the windows. But like the feud was always that. And being 1 minute older, I treated it like 5 years. But really, we were like always fighting over chores because my parents just, I don't know, they just would leave, go to Walmart, and be like, you got 45 minutes to get this done. And we took about 40 minutes to argue, and then like quickly in 5 get it done.
My favorite thing, I would add to it there. We were both freshmen in high school, and it was probably the last time we actually, fought over about a simple chore. And it was about vacuuming the house, and we waited too long. And I was trying to get Mike and Tim's butt off the couch to help me out, but they were moving ever so slowly. So Mike and I get into it or something, and then I throw a punch at his face. But this sucker over here ducks. And I
Floyd
put a,
Mayweather, wham!
yeah. I put a
That was a
hole
picture.
in the wall
Not
right
smart.
behind him. Oh, I got in some big trouble. To this day, I said if he just took the punch like a man, I'd be okay. But somebody had to chicken out. So I'm going to end on that note, so I have the last word.
Way to telegraph the punch.
Yeah. Okay.
Was it in his face? I can imagine.
Oh, no, it was
face level.
It was straight face.
It was face level. It was just like this. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, he watched it. Anyway, so let's get going to our week 1 thoughts. Sorry, I'm trying to rethink the punch there for a second. All right, so our week 1 thoughts here. We're going to jump right into it. Sean, we can jump into what are you looking for? What are you going to tell our listeners what to look forward to coming up our first round of games this weekend?
So I think there's going to be kind of an overarching theme to all of ours, but it's just to be patient because week 1 is by far the time that people make the most mistakes. Right after that, they trade away players, they drop players, and they do stupid stuff because week 1, it's a sample size of 1. You can't judge anything off of it. But what I will say is my word of advice, and I'm saying this to myself because in a draft last night, I drafted Jonathan Taylor in the 3rd round, which sounds high. It's a keeper league, but there is a possibility that I'm not going to start my 3rd round pick week 1.
Right.
I think there's other examples that probably are more so, like a Cam Akers. I wouldn't advise starting him. It's just because they have to win their jobs. So if you can go with that safer option in week 1, I think you're going to win more games going with safer options. I don't advise that during the season necessarily, but when we have no information as to how this is actually going to play out, I would just kind of take the safer route.
All right, Mike, you want to piggyback off that? You had a good comment earlier.
You don't have any expectations going into this week. I mean, if you saw the BYU Navy game, when was the last time Navy's been beat by 50? It's a long time ago. Like, football's going to get sloppy. I would say take advantage of the inexperienced guy in your league because maybe week 1 or week 2 just gets ugly, someone gets high scoring, and just get that easy trade bait. So if you're an experienced guy, circle the 3 dudes that are brand new, and maybe flip a trade that's going to hose them week 6.
Okay, this is my favorite thing about fantasy. You're a pastor, right?
Well, yes.
Fantasy is where you get to throw away your morals and just enjoy your dark side.
All right, Ryan, you want to jump on this here? I think you have a little something about staying with proven guys, not getting too cute.
This is actually Sean's advice to me.
Okay.
When I was a young little pup, just
when you
coming
were one
up.
of those that we were circling, right?
Yeah, when you were circling, when he preached and then went home that night and circled his guys that he was going to take advantage of. Sean was telling me, hey, there's some guys that you don't take out unless they show otherwise, like a long time. Mm-hmm. The best stat you have in week 1 is 2019, 2018, 2017.
Yeah.
That's all you have. I'm really using a lot of hands today, guys.
The rest is all coach speak, and it's really hard to discern what they're actually meaning by that, and or smoke screens.
Yeah, you got your guys. You know they're good. They've proven it. So don't get too cute in week 1. Like play those guys that you actually have proven numbers to show. Okay, they've got a track record, and go with that. That would be my week 1 advice. Really, Sean's week 1 advice to you.
It's a bonus.
All right, guys. So from right here, we're preaching a lot of patience here. We've got no preseason games to go off of. You play the studs that you do know. All right, don't fall in love with a Mitch Trubisky of week 1. Guys spending too much fab money because he had a good matchup, and then you're gonna I spent $100 of my $200 fab on a quarterback that tanks after week 2. All right, so trust your draft. Do really well there with setting the lineup week 1 and ride the wave. It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be a little different this year.
You don't win in week 1. Just remember that. Very key thing. Mm-hmm. Like everybody's gonna take their victory laps. They're gonna be so excited. They're gonna win the Super Bowl. But Sammy Watkins last year proved otherwise.
The Sammy Watkins rule.
Sammy Watkins rule. All right. Well, jumping off of that, guys, that's what we have for our week 1 preview podcast. Commish, you got anything you want to add on for our listeners?
No, I mean, like we kind of said, this is going to be a developing thing. If you have segment ideas, you like certain segments, I think we got some feedback that the Ryan Has Questions was a big hit, so we're going to probably bring that back. But yeah, it's just going to kind of be revolving, and just let us know what you think.
I have one final question
to
end these things. What shaving cream do you use, Sean?
I don't.
Because the people want to know.
There's no shaving going on.
Well, I guess trimming.
I couldn't have had a better answer myself.
It's minty, whatever it is.
It's
minty. That makes sense. Look at the shirt. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's apparently soaked. The shirt.
All right. Well, and also, if you're a guest that loves to comment and want to see changes in person, you can fly down like this guy to my left did, all the way from Indiana, and we can put those changes in person. But anyways, that's all we got for you guys in week 1. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe and tell your friends about us. See you later.
Check out 757 Podcast.
Please.